Welcome to Car Talk. This is not talking about cars, this is talking inside of a car. Today's topic is about the fact that I want to hire a personal videographer for my vlog. I've been thinking about this for a while, and I listened to Gary Vee, listen to Andy Frisella. They help give me some insights better into what's happening. I'm not necessarily a thought leader, a thought world pioneer, just carve out a place for myself a little bit in this world. And I've been thinking for a while that having somebody follow me around and video my day would be interesting. The other day, and I mentioned the other day to Ben and Josh, the guys, and Josh goes, "You think you're interesting enough for a vlog?" And I said, "Probably not, but I bet out of the course of my day, there's probably 7 to 15 minutes of really interesting things that happen throughout the day." Because as the business has grown and evolved, my day-to-day needs there are shrinking every day, which is what I wanted. I wanted that because the guys handle much of the labor and the POs and orders and phone calls and all that stuff. So not much of me is really needed there full-time for the day-to-day operations, which I structured everything that way. So this is kind of the reason why this all makes sense. So as that's happening, it's freed me up for more marketing, more branding, more expansion stuff. And the other day, about a couple weeks ago, I started thinking, I bet that instead of investing in the previous Car Talk, I want to say, an episode or two ago, that instead of investing so much in the stock market, which is not a bad idea, which I still do, but if I reel that back a little bit, I could probably do some business acquisition, some M&A, some buying and selling of some kind of business, rev it up with some Facebook ads, run it really sharp, make it either turn out some money or make it much more profitable to resell. And I thought, well, that'd be a very interesting time to have a videographer do that as I learn and take on and ramp up another business. And that seems interesting to me. Also, at the same time, I've been with the branding and the marketing of TFD Supplies. They got the cash cow, as they call it. I'm working on a book, which I think with the core values of what we stand for, and I think using that as far as branding and marketing will be helpful to have a videographer along the way. I also want to break into the area of it's almost semi documentary, in which it is, because it's just showing what happens. But I want to go to schools and pay off their outstanding kid lunch tab and video that for the vlog and for the business. Because if I want to get a foot in and continue to be present and have people consider TFD Supplies for reasons more than just the price, service, and selection, which are all three the best, but if I want to have it be an emotional decision too, what better way than to associate TFD Supplies with doing something good, like paying off outstanding school lunches? So I show up, I just do it all out of the blue, like how much do you owe, who can I write a check to, and the whole time to get people's reactions. Some will be more interesting than others, but I get a feeling they're not that high balances, and I get a feeling from a national marketing standpoint, it's going to be super cheap to do. And if that's actually interesting to watch, those are easy to go much more viral on Facebook or Instagram, whatever, than other stuff that's just like sales might be. It's just a story of what happened, and that's the entry point. So I've been thinking about that, and with the book stuff and with the house stuff and the M&A, business acquisition, selling, entry, exit, all these seem like it's really ripe time to hire a personal videographer, because they can help edit some of that video, but mostly just document what it is through my day, because I feel like there's a really interesting time going through things right now. Oh, and I'm also pushing harder with the branding into personal branding, into the podcast, creating more content, giving free e-commerce and Amazon consultations to people to generate content, put myself in that position of being known for that. You can go to calendly.com/TyTheDoctor to book your free session if you're interested. Let's see what else. I'm doing a line of, and that's part of my line of TD Talk, which is trying to give people value, hoping to get some value, and making it all something of value to someone else. Things I find interesting. Also, I started a line, strictly podcast series on the audio network called Practical E-Commerce, 2 episodes in, where as a practitioner as an operator, as someone who knows the ins and outs of e-commerce and actually runs it, started, runs, knows the quirks, the ins and outs, the mistakes to avoid, the things to go all in on, that's valuable. That's super, super valuable. So there's that, specifically that focus, but in the world of entrepreneurship, and I'm pushing hard into that. So I got all these things going on, and it seems like a super ripe time to have the videographer along the way. Now, the flip side of this, and the business can easily support one more salary, and honestly, people have volunteered to do it for free. So I'm not too concerned about finding someone of good caliber that will do good work and being able to afford the tab of that. So all of that's easy. The hard part is, here's what we moved about a month ago. Love the house. Pretty big house, not massive, about 4,700 square feet. And those of you that have seen the footage, it's got 2 attached 2-car garages. Kind of unique setup, which was super ideal because we run the business out of one, and then because there's the 2 employees, Ben and Josh, and that keeps everything segregated. The business stuff contained in that area, and then everything else works for personal stuff. And I love it. It's been exactly what I wanted. But if I get a personal videographer, I have to have Karen on board with that. And while she gives me super free reign on business stuff, because it essentially is my business, and she's been instrumental in that, and being supportive and being a good salesperson. We used to go to conferences, planted lots and lots of seeds. But that being said, it kind of is my business. She normally gives me pretty free reign on stuff, but I've been nervous to ask her about that. One, because then I become that guy, and she's used to me saying crazy things that don't make any sense to her. But this is probably among the craziest of the things that I would have said to her, is I want to hire somebody to follow me around all day and video what it is I do. And that sounds kind of crazy to most people, because you can imagine, you play it through several steps ahead. I run to Target, I run to the bank, I run to the post office, whatever it is it might be, new business stuff, marketing, branding. There will be someone following me around with a camera, recording what it is I do. I will become that guy. There's a bit of a stigma with that, which I don't care much people think, but that is a reality. I become that guy then. And so there's that, and then she becomes the wife of that guy. So there's that trade-off. People see me somewhere, they say, why's he got a camera guy following him around, right? Which is interesting to me. Not everybody sees those big pictures the same way I do. But the other question she asks is, so that's someone else in our house? And I get that, I do, because there's no way around that. This is the hand that we chose by having a house purposefully that could accommodate the business inside of it. For this reason, keep a low nut, nice tax deductions. It really, surprisingly, most people would say it would make their work-life balance suffer. For me, it actually makes it better, because I can pop out to do anything I want during the day, within reason. I still work hard. Don't get that wrong, but I can. I have that flexibility for the most part. And I want to walk over and do a podcast recording at our bar, I do that, what I've been doing. So it's been really, really nice. But so I don't know what's going to happen. I got a feeling, and she doesn't watch these. She doesn't really. Our relationship is, even though I work out of the home, it's pretty segregated. It's kind of like there's work and there's home. And she doesn't watch my content or care much about any of this content, because she's got her own stuff going on. Fantastic artist, KarenDaltha.com. But so I think she'll eventually come around. I do. I brought it up yesterday at lunch, and said, take your time. I know it sounds crazy. I know this sounds weird, and then I become that guy. I know all that stuff is true. I know someone else in the house. But I got a feeling she'll eventually cave, because I think that the opportunity is there, and that I could, maybe for free, but I bet for $30K, I could get a pretty good personal videographer to do all the footage all day. And another reason that has allowed me to get to where it is I have gotten to is following my gut. And while I have made plenty of wrong choices and still make plenty of wrong choices, the impact of my right choices far outweighs the value and impact of my wrong choices. And my gut says that if I, let's see, 30K, so 40K after dealing with taxes and all Uncle Sam, because they won't always want to cut of everything. 40K of that for the next couple of years is going to net 100 or 200K in a few years from now, which could easily be a double of return in 2 to 3 years, or 4 or 5 years. And if you double money in 5 years, that's pretty good. And my gut says this will be the right thing to do, very strongly. But I can't bring someone that's going to be around the house without her being on board with it, and without her being okay with it. So let's see where this goes. I'm not nervous. I think we've been married almost 8 years. I kind of got a feeling of her quirks, trying to sell things to her, the things that she likes to hear to make things be okay. She doesn't like to be pushed. If I can just kind of lay it out there, she's not forgotten about this. She'll bring it up when she's ready. So I'm not going to bring it up again. But I want to hire a personal videographer. I already put the ad on Indeed.com. Got lots of responses. People that have randomly now reached out on other channels. Got YouTube comments overnight. Some guy in the area that wants to do the video for free. So I'm not too worried about any of that stuff. But my gut says it's the right choice, and my gut also says that Karen's going to be on board with it enough. And then I think it'll all work itself out. But I want to hire a personal videographer for my blog, for my vlog. Car Talk, Tyler Dalpin.